Welcome back. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a good day of trading today. We finally got a chance to get a Rocket Lab to pull back some so we can get in at a lower price and get a little bit more to ride this thing higher. Alright, now of course we got a high of 53.44 and so let's kind of get an idea where we may pull back to, and then we'll figure out where we're going to be going from here. Alright, so with let's get it going. Alright, so we're looking at our chart here. This is the 4-hour chart, and we see we had our initial push up, and we're getting our sell off, hit our 20 and broke through a 20 on the 4-hour. Now on the year and a day chart, I'd rather see a 3 months and a day. Months and a day. Oops. Alright. So let's do 3 months and a day. Alright, so 3 months and a day. Daily bars. And it looks like we may have some support coming in at around I want to say around in here. At about is that $36? I like to round up or round down. If we round up to 37, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, not too bad. We'll say 37. Make it a little thicker. Alright, so about $37. Which would take this bar out here. Now this bar here was a pretty good bar it came in. And so to get through that bar is probably going to take quite a bit. So we'll make it a range of what's that there? 39. Let's see if we make it 39. Yeah, about 39 or so. Alright, so we should get, if we do pull back enough to break through our 9 SMA, as you can see here that it's been respecting it. We may just pull back to this 9 SMA and then take off again. If this doesn't hold up, then we got our 20 down here at around $39, and that's going to be our most likely our next stop. It's going to be down around here wherever this 20 catches up. If it pushes up into here somewhere, maybe we'll get our support in that area, or roughly $39 or $37. The way this thing has been pushing and pulling, right, in the past, so hopefully we can get our drawing tool out, and if we can get a push up like this here, right, and another push up like that there, right, and then so we get this pullback. This would be our support area here, which would be our most recent high, right in here. Okay, so we get our pullback and push up through there. Right, so we can get a copy of this pullback here. Right, oops, wrong tool. Right. Right, so something like that. Okay. And to get it. And you can just keep playing that game on up, higher and higher and higher. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we won't get a sell-off at some point and push us down back to retrace another one of these areas again. Most likely around September, October. Usually, what is it? I think it's, around September, October is usually when you get to your major pullbacks. Nice J-hook pattern here on the monthly. So getting this little pullback is probably what it's been needing for a while now. So looking at this, splitting this bar in half, which is a major push in here, and where it came down and found some support. It is about 50% of that bar. Wrong tool here, let's see. That's about 50% of that bar there, so okay, maybe a little less, but that's kind of, you get the picture. Nice J-hook push up, monthly bars. So depending on how this month finishes off, we're getting a little bit of a pullback at the moment, but we know we should have some support here and some support in this area here at about $30. $29, $30 or so. I suspect that this bar here, which is the bar we're working on, July 1st. So we haven't quite finished this bar out. Okay. So we know we having a little bit of a pullback at the moment, so we may just pull back a little bit and push higher and close this bar out up here somewhere, which would be nice if we can close it out around above $50. Let's see, that was a high of 53.44. Alright, so we got a high of 53.44, so hopefully we can get up above, retest that 53.44 and close up there on the monthly bar. Alright, then we might get our pullback. Actually, I'd like to see it get up above that $53 area and then come back and retest it and find some support in that area as we head into the end of the year. July is almost over. We're at July 21st, so it's only a couple more weeks left in this month, and then we'll be in August, and kids will be going back to school here real soon. So there's going to be a lot of changes going on in the and I believe we're going to be coming up on the fourth quarter, which is the end of the year, which means a lot of the companies are going to be having to pay out dividends and whatnot, which could be a cause for the market to sell off a little bit. Have dividends start having to get paid out at the end of the year dividends, the big dividends, not the normal, monthly dividends. So anyway, back to the 3 months and a day. So as you can see, that's kind of how this breaks down. But this is what I'm looking at on RKLB. So I'm looking at maybe we'll get a pullback into this moving average here, maybe another bar down, and then we'll take off again. If not, down into this $39, $40 area and consolidate and then take off. And I think that probably by into the end of the year, that's about August. So if we keep doing this trend the way we've been trending, we'll probably be somewhere around $100 by the end of the year, or maybe even higher, if we can continue to trend the way we've been trending in RKLB. But that's pretty much what I see, how it can play out. Of course, we could always just get a sell-off, and and none of that transpires. But it all just remains to be seen. It's in my opinion, I think it's a good company. It's got a lot of contracts with the government currently, and it's got a launch date coming up, I believe in September or October, and hopefully that goes well. If that goes well, then we should continue to push higher. And I had what did I do with my sheet here? Palantir. I had a breakdown on RKLB. Let's see. Is that RKLB? That's not the one I'm looking for. So, at any rate, I'll find my breakdown for it and share it with you all. And dollar cost average on RKLB in the strategy for it. So anyhow, that's what I see for RKLB right now. We got a little bit of a pullback, which to me, I love it. It's a buying opportunity, and it's an opportunity that I'm going to take once I see the bottom come in. The bottom is, I wish I could just tell you where the bottom is going to be, but that I don't know. I just have to keep watching and waiting and see where it looks like it's catching some buyers, and it looks like some buyers are stepping in, and the stock is starting to turn. Then I'll shout out to you and let you know, hey, looks like we're starting to turn, so get ready to burn, and then we'll continue our profitable trade on RKLB. Excuse me, I got all these papers that I need to file this stuff away, but just mad scientist here. All right, so this is what I'm kind of seeing, how we're going to move, push higher. maybe get a little bit of pullback. If we even pull back in here even deeper, it'd be even nicer because, you know, load up down here at 39, you know, is a lot better than trying to load up here at roughly 45 and then trying to push back up through this $53 area, which is going to be a resistance because, you know, we pushed up and sold off in that area. So there's some resistance at $53. Okay, so to pull back down in here and get a deeper pullback and load up down here to give us more strength to push up through. But the problem is we got a lot more distance to cover. So if we can get loaded up in here at around $45, load up, and then go back and retest this 53. If we can get through that 53 and come back and check it for some support, then we'll be looking pretty good heading into our earnings report. Alright, earnings report's going to be on the 7th of August after market. So be ready for that as well, okay, because that will affect the trajectory of the stock depending on how well the earnings report is. But I suspect it's going to be a good earnings, which, you know, a lot of times they sell off too, even though you have a good earnings report and the stock still sells off. So, you know, it's a waiting game. You just wait and play it accordingly how the stock, you know, moves. And of course you keep your stops in and you know, if you're adding to your trade, you know, you can just, you know, which you should be adding to your trade on these pullbacks. Add in, you know, consolidation right here, bar taking off, add in, you know, now we're headed here, take a little bit off and pull back in here, and whenever we find the bottom in here, add in and get ready for the next push, or wherever it decides to, you know, find its foothold to continue higher. That's when you want to add and ride the next wave up. So that's all I got on Rocket Lab. I know it's not a smooth conversation, but it is an idea. So you have to, you know, trade your position how you trade your position. I'm just trying to give you an idea of where and what I'm seeing or what I expect to happen, and so that's all I could give you. Yeah, what you decide to do is on you. How you decide to play it is on you. It's your decision. But that's kind of what I'm seeing as far as the stock trading. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be careful out there. These markets are crazy.